There's a lot of talk going on out there today because of comments one Sophie Cunningham made on her podcast. I got to tell you, that podcast is quite the firecracker, is it not? Smart business by her. Not going to kid you. I mean, if I was her and I had that podcast, I'd be dropping them nuggets.
She said it. The silence was deafening. Sophie Cunningham, the Indiana Fever's blonde bomber, just laid out her non-negotiable terms on her podcast, dropping a bombshell that has the entire league reeling. She didn't just ask for more money, she demanded a future, a home, and a commitment that could either solidify her place or shatter the Fever's locker room dynamics. This wasn't a quiet negotiation, it was a public declaration of war on the status quo, forcing Indiana's hand in a way nobody expected and potentially igniting a fury that could redefine her career. The team's response, or lack thereof, is now the hottest topic in women's basketball, threatening to expose deep rifts within the organization.
Do I even have to say it? Do I even have to say it? Y'all already know the blonde bomber is everywhere. One of the members of Tres Leches, Indiana Fever's own black belt. Black belt, the only one that's down to squabble up and fight for Caitlyn Clark. Sophie Cunningham is everywhere, going crazy in the new Damian Lillard Adidas commercial. I see her with the sneakers everywhere. I see Sophie Cunningham everywhere doing her thing. Good Morning America, Sophie Cunningham. Things like this.
Her podcast, described as a firecracker, proved to be exactly that, becoming an immediate source of controversy and buzz. It was a calculated, smart business move, leveraging her growing platform to openly discuss her free agency and what she expects from her next contract. This wasn't merely speculation, it was a direct challenge to management, letting every team know her price while putting immense pressure on the Fever. By airing her demands publicly, Sophie has masterfully seized control of her narrative, turning a standard contract negotiation into a high-stakes, fan-driven drama. The entire social media sphere is now lathered up, hanging on every word and waiting to see which side blinks first in this unprecedented public negotiation.
Yeah. Do I think it's very smart by the Indiana Fever to let her go, for Amber Cox to let her go, for Stephanie White to let her go? No, I think it's a ludicrous move. An absolute ludicrous move if you let her out. And look, I just did a video yesterday evening about social media engagements and the Indiana Fever being worth $55 million. We also talked about the fact that this woman right here was the third most searched for WNBA player.
Sophie's demand isn't just about a salary bump. She's looking for a multi-year deal substantial enough to buy a house and be homey and cozy. This isn't small change, it's a lifestyle statement, a demand for financial security that reflects her skyrocketing value. Speculation suggests her current salary might be around $100,000, but with the new media rights deal, a multi-year commitment could realistically push her earnings to $300,000 or more annually. This dramatic increase, coupled with her explicit desire for stability, means the Fever would need to open their wallets like never before. Such a significant investment signals Sophie's belief in her worth and her readiness to move if her terms aren't met, creating a significant dilemma for the franchise.
Doing just as much off-season work as Caitlyn Clark at this point. She been getting busy this off-season, y'all. Bro, we liable to see Sophie Cunningham hosting a damn BET award. Hey, Sophie Cunningham gonna be at the next NBA YoungBoy concert. Yeah, I'm in my bag. I'm sure. Oh man, this is crazy, man. Let's take a look at this right here, man. Sophie Cunningham is getting her off-season worth. She out there collecting her coins, and I don't blame her.
To consider letting Sophie Cunningham walk away would be nothing short of ludicrous, an absolute managerial blunder, according to some close observers. The Fever, currently valued at $55 million and experiencing unprecedented social media and engagement, cannot afford to lose a player who is not only a fan favorite but also a marketing powerhouse. Her departure would send a terrible message about valuing star talent and understanding the current landscape of player empowerment. The potential backlash from fans, especially given her integral role and unique contributions, would be immense, eroding goodwill and trust built over a challenging season. Losing her would be sacrificing both on-court production and invaluable brand equity for reasons that remain baffling to many.
We also talked about the fact that this woman right here was the third most searched for WNBA player on Google during the season. So, what does that tell you, folks? Sophie has built a huge fan base. Now, part of that's being in Indiana because you're watched by, what? The most amount of people. And before you watch this, keep this in mind. Right here, September the 11th is when
Sophie's off-court impact is undeniable, making her an indispensable asset far beyond her statistics. She was the third most searched WNBA player on Google during the season, a staggering testament to her burgeoning popularity and fan engagement. This kind of organic reach and visibility is golden for any franchise, especially one looking to capitalize on newfound attention. Her massive fan base, cultivated partly through her time in Indiana, translates directly into eyeballs on the product, social media buzz, and merchandise sales. Letting go of such a potent marketing force would be like throwing away millions in potential revenue and invaluable brand exposure, a decision few savvy business operations would ever contemplate.
You know that, right? You do know if your ass was on the Atlanta Dream somewhere, if you was anywhere not next to Caitlyn Clark, all of these opportunities wouldn't be popping up, right? I know you're a free agent. You want to get the bag. Indiana Fever is going to pay you handsomely. You need to stay next to Caitlyn Clark because the opportunities you are getting, deservedly so, you wouldn't be getting them not next to Caitlyn Clark. Come on now. This is fire. This is fire. I like this. I like this. They got her name.
On the court, her performance during the critical late-season stretch was nothing short of heroic, a tirade of destruction that observers claim single-handedly kept the Fever in playoff contention. Across 14 crucial games, she delivered explosive performances, routinely dropping 16, 17, and 18 points, alongside significant rebounds. There are strong arguments that without Sophie's relentless production during that specific run, the Fever would have completely missed the playoffs. She wasn't just playing well, she was carrying the team on her back when it mattered most, demonstrating an indispensable will to win in a clutch factor that is rare and invaluable in professional sports. Her playoff-saving efforts alone make her a player worth fighting to keep.
Before you watch this, keep this in mind. Right here, September the 11th is when Sophie Cunningham went on a absolute tirade. She went on a path of destruction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 games where when this team was still trying to make the playoffs, she went bananas.
Her three-point shooting efficiency was nothing short of sensational, consistently hitting percentages that defied belief. During her dominant stretch, she was knocking down threes at an incredible clip, 80%, 66%, 75%, 50%, and even 50% in multiple games. These aren't just good numbers, they're elite, making a strong case for her inclusion in any three-point contest over other well-known sharpshooters. This kind of consistent, high-percentage perimeter scoring is a game-changer, stretching defenses and opening up opportunities for her teammates. To lose such a precise and effective offensive weapon would be a gaping hole in the Fever's strategy, something they would struggle immensely to replace.
Prices may vary by region. Please check with local retailer. And remember, always game time responsibly.
Hey, man. Sophie Cunningham all over the new Damian Lillard sneaker. Look, Damian Lillard's not even in it. It's just his shoe with Sophie Cunningham's face. Hey, they know what's good for business. Oh, that is fire, though. That is fire. And this just goes to show, man, Sophie Cunningham needs to stay with the Indiana Fever. Let's take a look here, man. Now, the stats don't tell it all. She's kind of like...
Yet, despite her undeniable impact, there's been a lingering question mark over her usage by coach Stephanie White. From May 22nd all the way until July 9th, many observers were puzzled and openly wondered how the hell Stephanie White was trying to use Sophie Cunningham. This period of apparent misdirection or underutilization sparked speculation that it might be a significant factor in Sophie's current public contract demands. The idea that she felt undervalued or improperly deployed could easily fuel her desire for a fresh start with a team that recognizes her full potential. This underlying tension hints at a deeper, unspoken conflict that could ultimately drive her away from Indiana.
There is no playoffs if there isn't this run by Sophie throwing up these massive amounts of points and throwing in, 10 boards, 5 boards, 5 boards, 5 boards. I mean, she was contributing. Also, keep in mind, everybody wanted Lexi in the 3-point contest. I get it. But at the time, I said I would put Sophie in there, not Lexi. You want to know why? All right. Well, let's just scroll down. This is 3-point percentage.
Perhaps the most compelling, yet controversial argument for keeping Sophie is her role as the team's enforcer. She was, pointedly, the only actual player in 2024 who consistently tried to physically defend Caitlyn Clark when opponents were getting away with blatant fouls and aggressive play. When Clark was getting the crap kicked out of her, it was Sophie who stepped in, not other veteran teammates. This willingness to stand up for her star player, to be the black belt ready to squabble up and fight, reveals a critical team dynamic. It highlights a unique tenacity and loyalty that is desperately needed and conspicuously absent from other players, making her spirit irreplaceable.
Needs to stay with the Indiana Fever. Let's take a look here, man. Now, the stats don't tell it all. She's kind of like... numbers don't tell it all. Like how Alexi Hall, you can't look at a box score and judge the impact Alexi Hall has on the game because it's 6 Lexi. She's out there. She's everywhere, getting loose balls, keeping plays alive, taking charges, guarding the best player. All of those things don't show in the box score. And some of the things Sophie did don't show in the box score. That energy, that tenacity, the feistiness, she'll guard. And then before she got hurt,
her fiery nature and protective instincts were on full display during the Connecticut Sun game, where she was visibly trying to get to Marina Mabrey, later sending a very loud message to another player. This kind of unapologetic toughness is a rare commodity, providing an edge that makes opponents think twice. The team badly needs that kind of player, who isn't afraid to stand on business and get down with the get down. While some may view it as overly aggressive, many fans and analysts see it as essential for protecting star players and establishing a winning mentality, a clear demonstration that she will not back down when her teammates are threatened.
And being really efficient about it. So, and of course, we were all puzzled as the season started, because from May 22nd, she was dealing with an injury in here, by the way. But from May 22nd all the way until July 9th, nobody really knows how the hell Stephanie White was trying to use Sophie Cunningham. And I wonder if this is part of the whole, I don't know if I want to come back.
And I think the next team I play for, I want a bigger contract. So then I can buy a house and be home.
Beyond the court, Sophie's ascent into mainstream commercial stardom has been meteoric. She's everywhere. From the new Damian Lillard Adidas commercial, where her face is prominently featured on the sneaker, to appearances on Good Morning America and becoming an Arby's spokesperson, these are not minor endorsements, they are national campaigns that showcase her broad appeal and marketability. Her presence in these high-profile spots demonstrates a commercial viability that few WNBA players achieve, turning her into a significant brand ambassador. This unprecedented off-court success is a huge draw for the Fever, giving her an invaluable bargaining chip in contract negotiation.
The three-point shooting that she brought to this team is needed. The energy she brings to this team is needed. We know that she's one of the only ones that when things hit the fan, she was down and ready to go, ready to fight for Caitlyn Clark. We need more of that. We understand, look, we love Aaliyah Boston. Aaliyah Boston's soft. Aaliyah Boston ain't gonna bust a grape in a fruit fight. Kelsey Mitchell ain't gonna do nothing. Nobody. We need a couple bruisers, a couple people that's willing to get down with the get down. And I know for a fact Sophie Cunningham is willing to stand on business and get down with the get down. And we can't lose the one person who was willing to scrap.
It's an undeniable truth that much of her current commercial success is inextricably linked to her proximity to Caitlyn Clark. As one analyst put it, you wouldn't be all in these commercials' face everywhere. If you was playing for the Minnesota Lynx, her visibility has exploded since joining the Fever and playing alongside the league's biggest star. While Sophie's talent and personality are genuine, the Caitlyn Clark effect has amplified her reach exponentially. The Fever's refusal to acknowledge this symbiotic relationship and pay her handsomely for both her on-court contributions and the aura she brings alongside Clark would be a profound miscalculation, diminishing their own brand power in the process.
Caitlyn Clark was getting the crap kicked out of her, physically tried to defend her. Not Aaliyah Boston, not Kelsey Mitchell, not Lexi Hall, not anybody. That blonde right there is the only one that said, let me get in there and show them what's up, literally. There's video. They're holding her back. She's trying to get to Marina Mabrey during the Connecticut Sun game that she later sent a very loud message to J.C. Sheldon.
Her entrepreneurial spirit extends beyond endorsements, boasting her own podcast, Show Me Something, and even hosting a classic high school girls basketball tournament in Columbia, Missouri. These ventures demonstrate not just her personal brand building, but also her commitment to growing the sport at its grassroots level. Arby's, recognizing her influence, is now a title sponsor for her podcast and the Classic, further cementing her status as a multifaceted media personality. Sophie isn't just a player, she's an enterprise, a testament to her vision and drive. These engagements highlight her long-term value, making her an asset far beyond the scope of a typical basketball contract.
And I know for a fact Sophie Cunningham is willing to stand on business and get down with the get down. And we can't lose the one person who was willing to scrap. Okay, Lexi Hall stepped up to JC Show. We can't lose them at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, Natasha Howard did nothing. We need to let her go. I don't want to see her back here. I don't want to see Natasha Howard back here, bro. If y'all try to bring her back, I'm going to lose it. I will absolutely lose it if y'all try to bring back Natasha Howard. That just cannot happen under any circumstance. Sophie, I know you want to get paid.
Despite her obvious value, a sneaking suspicion persists among some analysts that Coach Stephanie White might not be a big Sophie Cunningham fan. This alleged lack of personal favor could be influencing coaching decisions and potentially impacting the front office's willingness to meet her demands. It's a subtle but powerful undercurrent, hinting at internal politics that go beyond mere statistics. The notion that Sophie doesn't check the boxes that this league looks for, as one commentator controversially suggested, implies a misalignment with certain organizational preferences. If true, this underlying tension could be the ultimate reason for the Fever's hesitant approach to her contract.
Part of the old WNBA fandom, you know, they're looking for, got to check social boxes, and they're looking at skin pigment color and things like. There is a section of Fever fans that want her gone and can't stand her. I don't know what to say to you. I'm sure it's the Stephanie White truthers. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.
The Sophie Cunningham situation has also exposed a surprising rift within the Fever fan base. There's a section, described as part of the old WNBA fandom, that reportedly wants her gone and can't stand her. This segment, sometimes dubbed Stephanie White Truthers, seemingly aligns with the coach's alleged disinterest, creating a polarizing dynamic. It reveals a complex layer of fandom, where loyalty isn't always to the players performing, but sometimes to traditional team structures or perceived ideals. This internal division within the fan base adds another layer of complexity to the Fever's decision-making, as they navigate not just player demands, but also conflicting fan sentiments.
Football and tonight's matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Washington Commanders. This segment is sponsored by Arby's, and we're here with Sophie Cunningham, WNBA star and Arby's spokesperson. We're so happy you're here. We know your basketball season just wrapped, but you're also a huge football fan.
I am.
You even played in high school for a game. So what's your thought on tonight's matchup?
I'm, a Chiefs fan through and through, born and raised in Missouri, and so when you have Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce on your team, I'm always going to bet on them.
Okay, all right. And we've seen a photo of you in that Arby's shirt. It kicked off kind of a revolution, and people online kind of taking over. So tell us about.
The Fever cannot afford to lose the energy and tenacity that Sophie brings to the court. While other players like Aaliyah Boston might be soft or Kelsey Mitchell unwilling to bust a grape in a fruit fight, Sophie is the undisputed bruiser and scrapper. This team desperately needs her willingness to get down with the get down and stand up for her teammates. Her fearless attitude creates a critical emotional anchor for the squad, a psychological edge that cannot be quantified in a box score. Removing this vital element would leave a leadership void and a perceived weakness that opponents would surely exploit, jeopardizing team cohesion and competitive spirit. The stakes couldn't be higher for the Indiana Fever. To let Sophie Cunningham, a player who delivered clutch performances, brings immense fan engagement and protects their star, walk away for what would undoubtedly be a lucrative multi-year deal elsewhere would be a catastrophic strategic blunder. They risk not only losing a vital on-court contributor, but also alienating a significant portion of their rapidly expanding fan base and squandering a unique branding opportunity tied to Caitlyn Clark's unprecedented popularity. The choice is clear: embrace her full value, or face the fury of a player scorned and the scorn of fans who see a generational talent being mishandled. Sophie Cunningham's shocking contract demands and the Indiana Fever's hesitant response have ignited a firestorm, pitting player empowerment against organizational inertia. This isn't just about money, it's about respect, recognition, and the future identity of the Indiana Fever. Will they meet her demands and secure a player who is both a game changer and a cultural icon? Or will internal politics and perceived slights lead to an unforced error? The outcome will not only define Sophie's next chapter, but also send a powerful message across the entire WNBA, shaping how teams value their stars in this new era of unprecedented growth and scrutiny.